All right, what's happening, friends? Happy Aloha Friday. Welcome to the Aloha Friday Hawaii Real Estate Show. I'm gonna bring in my friends here. We're just getting the internets warmed up right now. We're gonna go start the show in a couple of minutes here, but just want to get everybody that's online to start jumping in and introduce the crew from around the state. We are well represented today with friend from every single island. So starting off at the top of the island chain, we got Ronnie Margolis on Kauai. How's it going, Ronnie?
Excellent. Beautiful sunny day. My wife tells me we're in for a week of rain, so I'll believe it when I see it. Of course, it could happen. But
Well,
right now,
on Kauai, 80% of the time you're right? If you say it's going to rain, right?
well, my stepson's flying in
Oh,
from Portland today, so we're hoping that we don't get that much rain. But he's coming over because for his 50th birthday, my wife wanted to give him a trip to go to the volcano. So Monday, they're heading your way.
and you just got to get lucky with the volcano. Some day, I mean, it's like those 6 hour periods where it goes off and it's amazing, and then the rest of the time it's kind of just smoking. But yeah, we I guess it was past the last show, that crazy episode that we had a weekend ago, where it was like rocks falling from the sky. There was ash everywhere. It was really really crazy. So that was definitely a first in all of the episodes. That was definitely an extreme one that we haven't seen before. So
Mhm.
hopefully it works out for you guys and the volcano puts on a show. All right,
Wait,
moving down
so
the
the
island chain, we
the
got over. Go ahead, Mike.
the falling rocks, you had never seen the rocks fall like that?
It's never been that bad. Yeah, I mean, it erupts all the time, but it was like literally like there's like rocks falling from the sky, like miles and miles and miles away, and ash everywhere on the east side, and Pele's hair everywhere. Yeah, it was a very extreme episode that was rare. So, yeah, I mean, my wife was in Keao which is probably 25 or 30 miles away from the volcano at my son's wrestling meet, and there was like ash on the car after the meet. So yeah, it was crazy. So
Okay.
all right, moving down the island chain. Let's get back on track here to Ashley. What's happening on Oahu, Ashley?
I am so jealous. I really, every single time I get the strongest FOMO, I was almost going to message you and ask, but I was like, no, it's going to go away by the time I get there. We did not have ash. So it's just sunny and rainy.
That's the issue, is you got to catch it, right? You got to be like, you just got to get in the car, and you got to be on the island. If it starts, you just got to get in the car and go, because you can get there in 2 hours no matter where you are on the island. And yeah, it's hard to plan. So
I literally almost just jumped on the plane. Like,
you could make it. Yeah, if you fly to Hilo, you could be like there in 2 or 3 hours. So yeah, from Oahu, you could get there in like 3 hours.
can
So
someone just put me on an alert when it goes off? Like, can I just have a text alert? Like, now is the time, and I'll book the flight.
if it was only that easy. All right, and we got Mike back for the second time on Maui. What's happening over on Maui, Mike?
Hey, aloha, everyone. Happy Aloha Friday. It is raining in Maui, and more specifically, it is raining in Kihei, which we don't get a whole lot of rain. So even though it's cloudy, it's drizzling, we need the moisture, so we'll take it.
Absolutely, always, yes, absolutely. All right, and perfect. And as always, guys, you guys know I'm over on the Big Island, and it's a beautiful day over here, like it always is. Let's get the show officially started, guys. This is again the Aloha Friday Real Estate Show. You can ask us anything. So we always have content prepared to talk to you guys about. But if you have something specific you want to talk about, any questions that you have, we always take those questions live, no matter what platform you're on. And first up, want to say hi to Steve. What's happening, Steve, from Utah? We're actually, a lot of us are probably going to go to Utah later on this year. Our company conference is in Salt Lake, so looking forward. I haven't been there before, but welcome from Utah. All right, guys. So we're gonna jump right in here. We did the warm up already, and we're gonna do a quick news rundown on what's going on in the state of Hawaii. The big news is right now that you're gonna see in most news outlets is that the Hawaii legislature is back in session. So our legislature meets from late January to mid-May, and this is when all the new bills get passed and new laws get passed. And there's always been talk about gambling in Hawaii, and always there's bills that are introduced. Last year we got actually really close to passing a bill to allow sports betting, but there's additional discussion about maybe building a casino when they rebuild the Aloha Stadium, and different things like that happening right now. So we'll get some reaction from the team on this, on um, gambling in Hawaii, if it's a good idea or if it's not a good idea. In addition, there's a bunch of state legislators, but one primarily that's really pushing for tax relief. As you guys know, we're a very high tax state, and there's things like the general excise tax, which is charged on absolutely everything in the economy, every good and service, and they're looking to try and get that exempted from things, essential services like food, gas, medicine, doctor's visits, and things like that, because that obviously affects the lowest income earners, because that 4.5% is charged on absolutely everything. And in many states, sales taxes are not charged on those types of essential services and goods. And in the state of Hawaii, it is. So we'll see if that goes anywhere. I'm always pessimistic about any type of talk about lowering taxes in Hawaii, because usually they go the other way. And of course, we have Super Bowl coming up this weekend in a couple of days, and we always have a awesome legacy in the state with football players. I mean, there's many football players from the state of Hawaii that have made it to the NFL, and a few that have played in Super Bowls and have won Super Bowls. So we do have several Super Bowl champions that hail from the state of Hawaii, and it's always a huge event here. And to me, the best part about the Super Bowl in Hawaii, I don't know if you guys would agree with this, is that it ends at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and you can go to bed early that night. You know, I can't imagine. Ronnie grew up on the East Coast, so maybe Ronnie, you could tell us, like, are you a football fan? And on Super Bowl days, you know, it's like goes till midnight, right, when you're on the East Coast?
I'm a sports fan, so it wouldn't matter what time of the day it is. Yeah, I mean, I'll get up at 2 a.m. if I need to. Or, of course, being from Philadelphia, you know, we've had a good run with the Eagles, although this year sucked. But, you know, one of my most fun lifetime experiences was in 1995. You know, the Pro Bowl used to be in Hawaii for many, many years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the computer business, and my youngest son went around to all the booths at this big trade show, filling out forms, you know, that you visited the booth, and there was a drawing. And the winning prize was 2 tickets, 50-yard line seats to the Pro Bowl, all expenses paid, and $1,000 of spending cash. And he won. I absconded the winnings and took my dad to the Pro Bowl. I never thought my dad would come. Gwen was out shopping for clothes in anticipation, but then when my dad said yes, she let me take him.
What year was this?
That was amazing, you know, at the same hotel with the coaches and all those NFL players. And yeah, it was really the bomb. I'd like to say I think the game was a little less violent 25 years ago.
True. So this was like 25 years ago. What era was this? Like, who was playing? Do you remember?
I know Dick Vermeil was one of the coaches, but no. No, I could Google that. I could ask Chad or Gemini or Claude, any one of my assistants, but no.
How do you remember the coach but not the teams?
What's that? I just remember because I sat next to him in a lounge chair, you know, so.
Wow.
I thought that was pretty cool.
So Ashley, are you looking forward to the Super Bowl at all, or is that just a hard pass?
I could care less. I'm not. I'm from New England. I'm from Massachusetts, New Hampshire. So it's like Pats, Celtics, Bruins. I don't know why. I think it's just in our blood. When you're born, you just become this like really aggressive like fan of those teams, but I don't know why. And I know they're doing good this year. So I guess is the Patriots going to Super Bowl?
They are. Yeah,
well, then, yeah, I guess I have to. It's in my blood. I guess I have to figure out how to go and care. But are you a big fan?
Well, this is weird, but I'm a Patriots fan. People don't understand, you know, I understand why I'm from Hawaii, but I'm a Patriots fan. But when I was a kid, you know, like you got to pick a football team, and I just like the logo the best, you know, the Patriot and the 3-point stance, the old logo, and so I've always just said I'm a Patriots fan. So it was before the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick era. Yeah.
Wow, you became a fan while we were really bad. That's a true fan.
As a kid, yeah. And I have I'm not gonna tell the whole story, but I actually went to a Patriots game a couple of years ago when Brady came back with Tampa Bay to play against them. so we went to Foxborough, and we actually ended up getting stranded at the stadium because we Ubered there and didn't realize that when you try and leave the stadium, it's in the middle of nowhere and there's no Ubers to come and pick you up. And there was literally like hundreds of people in our boat, and it was like drizzling rain. It was super cold. People were like, couples are fighting because like they didn't coordinate pre. And it was a
memory.
long. The best part about the story was a friend that I went with, who's I served in the army with. The unit he was in, his new commander was a police officer in Boston, and it was like 2 a.m. We're stuck at Foxborough, and he's like, and we had no options. We were like, we're staying in Boston, so we couldn't walk home or anything like that. And he's like, I'm gonna text this guy and see if he's working. This is a long shot. He texted the guy, and he was working, and he's like, hey, no problem, I'll send a car to come get you guys. And like 30 minutes later, a unmarked police car comes and picks us up and then takes us back to Boston with the blue lights on. Like we got back to Boston in like 15 minutes. Yeah. It was a crazy story. So,
that's epic.
That's my Patriots football story. So, what about you, Mike? What are you doing for the Super Bowl?
We're gonna have a couple people come over to our house, host a few people. Every year, I make air fryer buffalo wings, and we'll probably order pizza. But I don't know who I'm rooting for because I kind of have grudges against both teams. The Patriots beat my Broncos at home a couple weeks ago, so they took my Broncos spot. And the Seahawks, well, they beat us Super Bowl 48. That was Peyton Manning era with us in the Broncos. So, yeah, I don't really know who I want to win. I think if I take my personal grudge off the table, it'd be cool to see Drake May in his second year go on and win a Super Bowl. But I think it would also be super cool to see Sam Darnold go on and win a Super Bowl because he's been in the league for a while, had a kind of a rough start, and a lot of teams gave up on him. And then he turned around, found an organization that works for him and that he fits into their playbook really well. So I guess if I had to say, I'm going to enjoy some pizza, some hot wings, and I want to see a damn good football game.
Absolutely.
So I'm not attached to who wins, so.
And the best part is it starts at like 12:30 or whatever. So it's an early day and it's almost lunch. It's not dinner. So all right.
I heard, I don't know if this is an official stat, but I heard that the day after the Super Bowl is like one of the most called off days from work.
I bet. I bet. I mean, it should almost. We should just
in the country.
In the country. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I always think like, if I was president for a day, I would just figure out a federal holiday to move to the day after Super Bowl Sunday, right? That would solve a lot of problems in the country. So
Dylan for president.
America priority.
There you go. All right, let's jump into the market update, talk about what's going on across the state in the real estate market. Who we got first? We got Oahu first. What you got for us, Ashley? Lots of data on here.
Yeah, I try not to get too overwhelmed with the data. Really, the visual here is just to compare 2026, month of January, to 2025. Ignore 2024. If you like it, you can stare at it. And then I like to add pre-COVID market. So January 2026, the median sales price for single family homes only was 1.125 million. So that was pretty similar to last year. It went up about 0.5%. And the number of houses were also really similar to last year. It went up 1.5%. And the days on market are very similar to last year. But if you compare that to 2019, that's where those numbers are showing I can't see my stats anymore.
Oh, hold on. I'm bringing it back for you. There you go.
Compared to 2019, you can see this drastic difference in the pricing for the single family homes. It went up 31% since pre-COVID market. The days on market are again, very, very similar. So we're not seeing this crazy drastic difference with how the market is moving for single families, but you do see the price range go up significantly. Even the amount of sales were up significantly too in 2019 compared to the most recent years. And compare that to condos down below. In January, we went back under 500,000 for the median sales price, which is pretty significant. If you compare that to last year on condos, that's about 8.33% from last year on the median sales price, which that was the first time we went under 500,000 in a long time. Again, compare that to 2019 though, it was just hovering at 400,000. Still 19% higher. So if you bought in 2019, don't worry, you're still in a good position.
But it seems like the appreciation of the condo market is not as significant as a single family home market, right? Compared to 2019.
Historically speaking, since 1960, single-family homes have appreciated on Oahu an average of 200,000 every, 10 years. However, condos in that same comparison has been about 40,000. So overall, single-family homes have historically appreciated faster than condos, but that's simply because you can do more things to add value, like add square footage, add specs to the home. You can change the exterior of it. You can make certain improvements that you're sort of limited within the bounds of your walls inside of a condo or townhouse. But I think that the data is pretty significant when it comes to understanding what kind of market you're going into. There's a lot of opportunities in condos and townhouses right now because the number of sales are down a little bit. The days on market are up and the median sales price is down. But we're still seeing it move forward. It's still higher than it was pre-COVID, but it is very similar to 2024. Single family homes, though, are powerhouses. I don't see that slowing down either, to be honest. I think that that's going to be a continuous rise for this coming 2026.
I would suspect, and I don't know if you have data on this off the top of your head, right? But one factor is that there's definitely more new inventory in the condo market than there is in the single family home market, right? So the restriction or the supply of single family homes grows at a much slower pace than the supply of condos. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for condos, we had 594 condos available, and for single family homes, we had 220
Yeah.
for this month. So you do have a lot more condo options, obviously, because they go vertical and you need less land to do that, and you have more in Waikiki in town. But what we're also seeing is that the maintenance fees are kind of leveling out, which is great. So I do think that the condo market will start to pick up this year. I do think that that's going to start to trail forward. And regarding insurance concerns, which we've been discussing for the last year or two, that's going to happen in the single family sector and the condo sector, regardless. Like I just got a notice that my flood insurance company that I've had for 5 years is no longer going to be offering insurance in the state. So I have 90 days to find a new insurance company. So you're not immune to it if you're a tenant, if you're in a condo, if you're in a single family, one way or another, we all absorb the cost somehow.
Got it. We got a couple of shout outs here. We got Pam from Denver, another Denver Broncos fan. So shout out to Mike on that one. And then since we got Ashley on right now, and I guess Ashley and I can debate this, is the Sandman, Mike Sandman is saying, I assume Oahu is the most affordable housing. Is it safe? Is in a safe area, what is a studio apartment going for?
I
Talking
mean,
about opportunities.
sure, Big Island might be more affordable, but Oahu does have more entertainment. So, talking about the favorite island of the sisterhood here, you can get. I mean, right now we have 300 condos under 300,000 that are fee simple on Oahu right now, and well
So
over half of those
wait, say again, 300 under 300,000.
on
Seems like a
Oahu that are
good
fee
marketing line.
simple.
Wow.
Yeah. Of those 315, 53 of them are under contract.
Okay.
So
I know.
there's a significant amount of inventory, and over half of those are in the southern, more denser populations of Oahu. So downtown, like in the heart of things.
I would also add to this, there isn't necessarily unsafe areas in Hawaii. I mean, it's pretty safe everywhere. I mean, there aren't like any terrible neighborhoods. So that's not something that you really want to worry about too much, especially from a condo standpoint. Condos are very secure. That's the best part about condos is it's a building and the doors lock. So yeah. Cool. Okay, let's one more shout out here to Sheila Johnson watching from Houston. Thanks for joining us, Sheila. Let us know if you have any questions. We'll definitely take them. All right, let's get back to the market stats here. And Mike, what do you got? You got lots of data here, so tell me what you want to show.
So for single family, their new listings in 2026, or January of this year, went up to 115. That's an 8.5% increase over January of 2025. Days on market for single family has also risen 53.7%. So in 2025, days on market for single family here in Maui were 121 days. January of 26, that jumped to 186 days on market, with the median 53.5%. So it is very significant. Now, our median sales price for single family, that is up 20.4%, 20% from last January. Median single family was 1,445,000 compared to 1.2 million a year ago. So single family median is increasing. If we look at the month or inventory of homes, that is also up 10%, almost 11%. It went from 413,000 or 413 to 457 single family homes on the market. And we have 7.9% months of supply for single family, which is up 11.3%.
It's a really interesting dynamic here, right? Like less sales happening, but prices are going up, right? Just like it doesn't make sense in the basic economic model.
For Maui, for all of 2025, the median price for single family ranged between 1.2 and 1.3. So yeah, even though supply is up, days on market are up, the price isn't doing the inverse. The price is still going up or holding pretty steady. So that's going to be a pretty stark comparison to when we go to the next slide and we look at the condo market.
There you go.
So condo market, January, we're actually down in new listings 14%. So January of 26, there's 144 new condo listings versus 168 last year. When we look at days on market, here's where we're going to see a big change. This is also, it's gone up 20.3% since last year. So we went from 138 days on market last January to 166 days on market. So both the single family sector and the condo sector here in Maui, it's taking longer for these units to move. Median sales price, here's where it's going to get interesting. It's down 6.7% from last year. Our median single families almost 630, median condos 629,950. So we'll just call that 630K. It is down from 675,000 last year. But if we look at where did my other sheet go? If we look at the months of inventory for condos, right? In 2024, Maui County only had 5 months of condo inventory. Okay, that was, after the fire, 6 months after the fires, 4 months after the fires. In 2025, January, that went from 5 months of inventory to 13.4 months of inventory. Now we're at 15.8 months of inventory. So we've got a lot of condo units on the market here. And then one more stat that I wanted to put for that one. Now, just the median sales price for condos was 630. Our average sales price, though, for condos is still 926,000. So the Maui's market, single family and condo are very different. And what's really affecting the condo market is Bill 9. Last time when I was on the show, we talked pretty extensively on Bill 9 and what it's doing. But basically, the council did pass Bill 9, which is set to phase out about 6,200 short-term vacation rentals. They did a temporary investigative group came in and analyzed all those properties and figured out which ones would be better suited for long-term housing and which units should be better suited for short-term rentals to continue operating as short-term rentals. And of those 6,200 units, there's only a little over 1,500 units that they deemed better suited for long-term housing than short-term rentals. So, that's not a lot of housing that we're going to put on. And here's the thing, the big push with Bill 9 is in Maui County, we need affordable housing now. Well, that bill doesn't go into effect for 3 years on West Maui, and it doesn't go into effect for 5 more years here in South Maui. So the need for affordable housing right now, this bill isn't solving that issue in the condo market. As the stats show, it's really spooking investors and even people that just want that second vacation home. They're like, why invest in Maui right now if they're going to take my right to vacation rent it? Or it's not appreciating. Everything's going down, depreciating value. So if you just look at it from a number standpoint, it doesn't necessarily make sense to buy a condo in Maui right now.
And clearly it's not resulting in people buying the many available condos to just live in and at the better price, right? So it's not accomplishing that either because there's so much inventory right now. Prices are down, but they're still just sitting there and nothing's happening.
Prices were down 40% for the year condo market in Maui versus 2024. So you're basically getting a condo for half off. If their theory was correct, why are our sales down and our days on market are increasing?
It's a good question. That's a good question.
They're half off from a year ago. Why aren't people buying them?
You think they'd be flying off the shelves? All right, lots of stuff going on. So very different market dynamics between Maui and Oahu. Let's see what's going on Kauai. What's happening, Ronnie, on Kauai? Bring your slide up here. Oh, you got to unmute.
My bad. Sorry about that. Boss.
There we go.
I was thinking when Mike was talking, it doesn't make sense and it doesn't make dollars. Meaning, like, the math. Now, I think Kauai is the most extreme, but look at this decline in sales. And we talk about it sort of comically because the numbers are so small here. But we had 43 sales in the month of January. And that's the lowest number I've seen. Might be the lowest number I've seen ever in the 21 years I've been here.
I spot checked it yesterday. I couldn't find a month in the last. I kind of just jumped around over the last like 10 years, and I couldn't find a month that was lower. Yeah.
Crazy. So I think over time, and hopefully the time is soon, sellers might actually understand that it's not 2021 anymore. It sounds like they're starting to understand that on Maui, but I think we can all agree that when it comes to condos, each complex is kind of its own micro market, right? And when there's 5 units for sale and the days on market are growing, and I'm a buyer, I'm going to come in low. I'm going to find out what the floor is because I can, and this is a time when buyers really can be picky. To find the right situation for themselves. But no matter what you buy at, I think there's going through what we went through with COVID. When you buy a condo out here in the islands, you need to be able to afford it even if the tourists stop coming. That's the bottom line in terms of a prudent, investment in real estate. If you go to the next slide, again, you can see declines in some areas. Kaloa is where Poipu and our South Shore condo market is, and volume way down last year. Compared to last year. And same in the North Shore. I just spot checked while we were navigating along here. There's 11 months of inventory in Princeville. And, that's a buyer's market. So I think, and I just finished my market update for our island, and, the thumbnail is like, have Kauai prices peaked? Because I don't think, given the market conditions, they can push up 2 more. Of course, all of our islands have these luxury trophy properties, the 20, 25 million, 40 million. That's kind of an outlier to the general market. Because if you have a property like that, regardless of the price, and someone that can afford it, that likes it, it's special, well, that's going to sell. I don't think there's been, much change there, but I don't know, Ashley could probably speak to it better, for the urban market. But in general, the luxury space, let's say 3 to 8 million, has been really soft.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting dynamics. We got any more data here? That's it. Yeah, every island is different. I'll give you guys a quick update on the Big Island market. I kept the data simple, but interesting what we're seeing in terms of the median prices are up a little bit. So it's kind of similar to what Mike was talking about. So median price and Big Island median price always looks skewed. It looks very, very low because depending on the side of your island you're on, it's going to be really low on the east side. It's going to be really high on the west side, but 579, which is up just 2% year over year for single family homes. And then on the condo market, we're up 9% to 616 on the median price, but extremely low number of sales compared to last year. And last year was a very, very slow year. So we were down 9% for the number of single family homes that sold, and down 2.6%, almost 3% for the number of condos that sold. So market activity is slow, but prices are still continuing to creep up, which is interesting. And just a funny stat there, right? It's like we sold as many condos as the whole island of Kauai combined, of all types of property, right? Just in the condo market. And that's a very, very low number of sales on the Big Island. But back to that previous question that Ashley addressed about affordability, I think if you just look at pure affordability, how much things cost, I mean, you definitely, the Big Island is by far the most affordable. And we have our future properties at the end, and one of them, I was choosing between two properties, but one of them was beautiful new build 2-bedroom 1-bath home on like 1,500 square feet for like 330,000, right? So small house, but nice yard. I mean, rural area and great condition, but you can really get something basically the same price here, home and land, for what you would get for a condo in Oahu. So affordability is definitely the strongest here. And I think Mike and Ronnie would agree, Kauai and Maui are definitely the highest. I mean, you have the least amount of low priced options on those islands. Sometimes you get some condo stuff that might be affordable, but from a single family home environment, definitely the Big Island's the most affordable.
But we have the Super Bowl.
You used to have the Pro Bowl. And actually, I wanted to go back to that. So we talked briefly about the Super Bowl news, but I wanted to get everybody's reaction. Let me go back to my news slide over here about gambling in Hawaii. So what are you guys' thoughts on, this comes up every year after year after year, and this wasn't planned, guys. So we're just kind of, we are, for the audience that may not be familiar, we are one of only 2 states in the nation that has 0 gambling. So Hawaii and Utah have no gambling, no lottery, no sports betting. I mean, no poker rooms. I mean, there's lots of different types of gambling. It's not always like Las Vegas, right? Every state has different types. But yeah, no scratch off tickets at the gas station or any of that stuff. So there's always discussion amongst our legislators to talk about, should there be some type of gambling? There's been talk about cruise ship gambling, all kinds. I mean, the whole spectrum. But who wants to get started? You guys have any thoughts or reaction to, is gambling a good idea? Should we have that option? Is it a terrible idea? Looks like Ronnie.
Well, my first thought is it would be great for you.
No, I think it's go to Las Vegas. I think it's go to Las Vegas.
Every business needs multiple revenue streams. It's good to have a diverse set of revenue streams. So I think it would be great for you.
Yes.
I don't know. I can see the dilemma, right? Because it will contribute to income, right? Mm-hmm. And the more money the state has, the more monies the county get theoretically. And we have the same, needs or similar needs to almost, any place in the United States. We have housing affordability. We have infrastructure needs. On Kauai specifically, I mean, they'd like to build some more affordable housing, but the places where they want to build, they didn't plan out the infrastructure like they did on a place like Maui. So we're sort of like, caught between a rock and a hard place. Me personally, I watch a lot of sports because I love sports. And of course, you see the ads for FanDuel and, I can bet on your son making his next jump shot, right? Type thing. It's like so granular. And I don't know. I think in a world where we have many addictive, environmental things around us, and each one of us, especially with technology, can just drift. We just drift. It's just another prong to drift. So I guess the bottom line is, I think society-wise and psychologically, it would be bad, and probably economically, it would be good. So that'll probably win in the end.
The dollar always wins, right? So most likely, if any of this happens, it's always talking about being on Oahu. So what do you think, Ashley? Does the Oahu economy need a casino?
I mean, I'm from New Hampshire. Like, our motto is live free or die. Like, I don't like being told what to do. I don't think that the government should have too much say in what we do. And if people want to gamble and feed into, that's up to them. That's their kuleana, and let them do it, and let I mean, if we're going to be a capitalist nation and overthrow the kingdom, then and they want to gamble, then I say give them the freedom to do it. Will the hotel lobbyists in Vegas allow it? And probably not. But do I think that people should? I'm not a gambler, so I don't care. But yeah,
that's a very good point. Is I've heard that also, that the number one source of funding for the lobbyists against gambling in Hawaii are the Vegas casinos, because
yeah.
they would lose out on all that revenue, right? Or we would compete. I mean, if you had a choice of, if you wanted to go on a vacation and get some gambling in, and you could choose Las Vegas, you could choose Hawaii, what would you do, right? I mean, from a consumer standpoint. So yeah, it's very interesting how.
Well, and the amount of people they call on Ninth Island for a reason, because people want what they can't have. I kind of think like in European countries or other nations, say anywhere, when kids are introduced to wine or beverages at a young age, it's not a big deal. They don't have the same level of alcoholism issues that we do. I think when you tell people they can't do something, they want to do it even more. And right now, Vegas is that fix, and we are their number one visitor revenue. So they have their claws in it, and I don't think they're gonna let that go, especially as their tourism is down too. We're holding them afloat.
And might be comment on, we're talking casinos and stuff, but like, what about everything else, right? Sports betting, lottery, stuff like that. Like, what do you think? Should Hawaii be open to it?
I piggyback with Ashley on everything she said. Like, if the betting age is 18 or 21, right? You're allowed to join the military at 18. You're allowed to vote at 18. In the eyes of the government, you're a grown adult. So why should people not be able to do what they want with their money, right? Free society, it's your choice. I think from the economic and also with Ashley saying, I don't like being told what to do either, right? So you tell me I can't do something, it makes me want to do it even more, right? And when we're looking at bringing the economy up in Hawaii, right, with tourism down specifically in Maui, why are we letting all of that potential, like wiping it off the table? Everybody that goes, like you were saying, how many of Hawaiian families go travel to Vegas? They take all of their money.
I do it very often. I do it very often for business purposes, and the plane is always 100% full. There's never an empty plane going to Vegas from Hawaii.
So you're taking all of that tax revenue off of the island and giving it to Nevada.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we need to find more creative ways to bring economic dollars into the state, why would we not really highly consider this? How much money are those lobbyists giving to a select few people in government positions? I think it would be a great idea. Why do the other 48 states allow it and only 2 are against it?
Yeah. It's an interesting discussion. We'll see what happens. We'll continue to monitor what happens at the legislature and keep you guys updated. So, all right, let's shift gears a little bit.
Now, that still doesn't mean I'm going to go buy a scratch-off ticket. I played those back in Colorado, and I won $50 one time, and other than that, I didn't win anything.
I'm not, and I'm gonna add too, just I'm with Ronnie on like the mental health aspect of it. If you know me, I'm like a total hippie. I have things on my phone, so I don't have EMFs and stuff. But like, I also love animals, and if they introduce legalized gambling here, then maybe there would be less cockfighting and other underground gambling that still happens, and then that would be just a positive turn of events as well.
I doubt that. Unless, you set up a program to give comps to all the cockfighting Hawaiians, maybe then, but there's more to it than that. That culture goes deeper than us Hali people.
So we'll note that Ashley's okay with gambling except for cockfighting. No illegal cockfighting, then we'll be
or
okay.
Any animal or abuse.
Just set up a Humane Society fund for the casino, and then everything will be okay, right?
Perfect. I'm on it.
Okay. All right, let's shift gears to the question that was submitted. And guys, if you're watching and you have a question, we have some time left, so just throw it in the chat and we'll get to it. But so beachfront and climate change concerns. The questions were, what are lenders or insurers becoming more cautious with oceanfront homes, and then how is sea rise affecting local properties? So what are you guys seeing in this realm? I know we can maybe start off with the introduction that a couple of years ago we added to our disclosures when we sell property, that there is a sea level rise disclosure that we add to it. Obviously, that doesn't affect most properties because if they're away from the ocean, it's not something in that zone. But if you're on an oceanfront property, it's something that you have to sign and acknowledge as a buyer before you buy oceanfront property. So outside of that, what are we seeing? And I think probably Oahu, right? Ashley has the most issues with erosion and kind of sea level rise concerns, but we'll go around and hear from the crew on this.
Different parts of the island definitely experience more erosion than others and higher erosion than others. And I just think because we have a lot of real estate and people on this island that we tend to lead on the news on that front. So we have a very complex history for oceanfront properties, I would say. Like just looking at a 5-year landscape, for example, like we have actually had record high sales on oceanfront properties since COVID. So in that factor, we've seen a lot of appreciation, but we do see the downward pressure too because of the sea rise levels. So lack of inventory keeps the values up, but the sea rise levels do impact certain parts of the area that keep it down. And that's really a factor too of how much land is in front of the property to the ocean. Does it have a seawall? Is it damaged? Is it grandfathered in versus permitted? Stuff like that. I know some of the northeast parts of the island tend to experience erosion a little bit more aggressively than others. And then you have really high surf. So if you're trying to find like a good surf spot and they don't have a reef out front, those can be more impacted. But then you have other areas of North Shore that have very low impact and lots of land. So yes, as far as the insurers, also yes and no, but yeah, you can still get insurance, flood insurance on oceanfront homes, just like anything else. I'm on a canal, and I just mentioned that my insurance company is leaving the island, right? So that's not just oceanfront, that's any flood zone. And flood zones, you might not even know you're in it because you're not near a body of water. There just might be a drainage canal that's close by. So yes, no, we actually have a pretty stable oceanfront market.
What I'm hearing is it's complicated. So talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about and get good advice, right?
Yes.
It varies. So Kauai is the oldest island, and it from my understanding, I don't hear a lot of stuff in the news, about erosion or oceanfront issues. I mean, what is your take on that, Ronnie? You've been there for a long time, so has that changed over the years?
Well, every year the shoreline setback gets larger. And so for some oceanfront parcels, like on the east side, for instance, lots go for sale, like commercial property. And by the time you adhere to the shoreline setback, you can have like a 12-foot deep building that fronts the road, meaning, the value. I think Ashley alluded to it a little bit, but insurance is a problem statewide, and it's not just the oceanfront properties. It's like every year more insurers leave the state. There's less to choose from. We saw the big change in condo associations, and the more we have that kind of dramatic weather around this country, then the more that's going to be exacerbated. Certainly, a dynamic that influences the value of a lot of those properties are what kind of entitlements you get in terms of distance, from the shoreline setback. And even this may be a county thing or a statewide thing, but you want to go build on a parcel like that, you got to do a shoreline survey, and the bureaucracy to even get permission to build is a lot. And you have all these complexities. That's why you need, a realtor who's going to research this stuff thoroughly, with planning and zoning, because the property might qualify for a building. It might be in an area that, was grandfathered in before the shoreline setback changed, or it might not be, and then you're limited with what you can do. So over time, maybe in our lifetime, maybe beyond that, sea level rise doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. And so, eventually it will have some effect. I agree, pretty much with Ash that I haven't seen any specific. If you have a specific property that's compromised in that way, then that's going to be a much riskier investment, But it's not. It's not in the mainstream of those
It's
types
not
of.
market. It's not market wide or island wide, right?
No.
Yeah. And what about
But insurance is? I mean, I get calls from clients all the time. Hey, my insurance carrier is not insuring here anymore. And
yeah,
these are homes up in the mountains.
yeah.
So that's that's an ongoing sort of a moving target.
So Maui and the Big Island are the youngest islands with the least amount of erosion. But what are you seeing on Maui, Mike? Anything of concern or?
For as far as the actual erosion, I think it's really just like the other islands, dependent on the exact location, right? There are certain oceanfront properties, like on the north shore of Maui, that there's not sand; it's sea cliff. So that's
Yeah.
Volcanic rock. That's not going to erode away. If we look at like the south side, most of the homes on the ocean on the south side of the island are all beachfront, so sand right out front. I will say that where I've lived in our location for 6 years, we've walked up and down that beach multiple times a week. I've seen the ebbs and flows throughout the years. Certain times of the year the sand's built back up, and certain times of the year the swell and the surf gets high, and a lot of that sand gets pulled back. But in the 6 years that we have lived here, there's been a few sections on that stretch of beach that have probably lost between 6 and 8, maybe even 10 feet of land. Like there used to be grass there, and it doesn't exist anymore. In the 6 years we lived there, I've probably seen six palm trees that used to stand that aren't there anymore, and a couple other trees have fallen. So it's the shoreline is receding back, but I also think it's very dependent on where at on the island. Now, insurance. I go to the caravan meetings every Tuesday, and we have an insurance guy that comes, and a lot of the big national insurance companies like Geico's, the State Farms, Allstate, those sort of companies. A lot of them are not insuring in Hawaii, or at least within 1,000 feet of the shoreline. When I had I owned a retail store in Lahaina before the fire happened, and I couldn't get any mainland insurance companies to look at it because we were within 1,000 feet of the shoreline. I was able to find one Hawaii-based insurance company that would insure me for the commercial property. Can I do a little plug for that guy, for that agent?
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, and then I personally have used him. So I'm sitting in our condo right now. This is an investment property. We use this as an Airbnb rental. But last year, so going into 2025, same thing. Our insurance company, who was Geico, wasn't renewing the policy. So Jamie Peacock with Maui Insurance Services, he got us a policy that was, I believe, $300 cheaper per year than what Geico was doing, with better coverage. He is also going and working with several AOAOs, so condo complexes here, and getting them much better rates. How he's doing that, I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, he might be squeezing out the competition, but it's one of those things you are going to have to do your homework to make sure you can get insured before you purchase. And I don't know that I've seen any statistical data that shows that sea level rise is increasing, so property values are dropping and homes are staying on the market longer on those ocean fronts. I haven't seen any statistical data to prove that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And Big Island is really not an issue because we're like almost all lava rock, the whole island. So it's like shoreline erosion is not really an issue anywhere. And there's very few places that are like ocean front and then have a beach in front of it. A lot of it's ocean front and cliff, or a lot of the beaches are already parks. And so there's not many areas where you can actually live like right on the beach if you can on the other islands. So good discussion. Again, I don't think it's anything we need to worry about in our lifetimes. So we will move on to some diamonds and deals. So let's take a look at some featured properties here. Ronnie, did you have something? Do I need to refresh your slide? If not, we'll go to who's this? This Mike? Looks like a Maui property.
I have something somewhere along there. I have something.
We'll get to you. Go ahead, Mike.
I can give you the audio, for the people that just like to listen to this while they're driving.
That's right. Well, we got Mike's visual up. So Mike, tell us about this.
So I picked this property because this was hosted on our South Maui Caravan on Tuesday, and I actually went in to see this home. The few little pictures I got to put up here do not do this place justice. It's a beautiful home. It's in Wailea, so South Maui, in a complex called the Ridge at Wailea. There's only nine lots in that little subdivision, so super intimate. They and private, exclusive. They just got in their gate, so it's within a gated community. So this one's at 19 Jalapa Place. It's listed at 6.775 million. For all of our dreamers out there, it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home. It's 3,873 square feet. I should have put a better view. So from that pool view that you see, that is directly facing like West Maui. So you get a little bit of ocean view, and then you get a beautiful crystal clear view of the West Maui mountains. The home was built in 2020. And the owner was the person that lives in it was the original owner of the home. Absolutely beautiful home. Again, I said for all the dreamers at 6.5, 775 million, but that's the one I wanted to showcase today.
I love it. I love it. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, what we got, Ashley?
This one is on the North Shore. It's listed by Ralph Gray at Hawaii Homes International. It's for $5 million. Talking about beachfront, and this was not planned, but this is a beachfront home. They have over 100 linear feet of sandy beachfront. If you go to the next photo, you can see exactly where it's located. And this area is not experiencing or known for its erosion, and you have a vegetation line there as well, and still lots of sand, and you have a little bit of snorkeling out here. It is truly one of my favorite hidden spots on not just the North Shore, but Oahu. Wholeheartedly, like, it is my dream to make sure that I can live up here one day and be semi-retired so I don't have to drive to town all the time. It's 2 living spaces though, so I don't have an overview, but they have it listed as a duplex, but it's still a single family home in tax records. However, it is a L/U shape house, fully gated, and it's got 2 complete separate living spaces that can be opened up into one large living space as well. So there's a lot of different flexibility to use with it. The size of the home is a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 6 parking. Square footage is over 3,500 square feet of interior living space, and it's on 14,500 plus square feet of land. I love it. I hope someone buys it. I hope someone I know buys it so I can come over and hang out with them.
Well, let Ashley know, guys. If you got that $5 million laying around, let her know, and she'll come entertain you. All right.
You only need 2 million. We can finance the rest.
There you go. It's always a way around it. What's a $3 million mortgage? Huh? No big deal. So
it's got the other stack of the house. You can rent it out.
All right, Ron, you got anything you want to talk about?
Am I sliding out there?
I'm not seeing it.
Okay. Well, unit G.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, far away.
G.
Give us the description.
Ponokai is in the center of Kapa'a town. It's what I think of as a hybrid complex. So you got a lot of timeshare owners. It's 245 units there. 63 of them are fee simple, and the other are timeshare. One thing about places like that, they are well maintained and they upgrade regularly, especially the timeshare units. So this is in Building G. It's got a wide open ocean view. Hard to find something with big ocean views for under 8 on Kauai. This is priced at $640,000. The unit next door, which was of a similar quality, neither are upgraded really, sold back in November for $735,000. So kind of a wholesale price. If you want to get in, you can call me and I'll hook you up. And you guys went high, I went low. So there it is.
Sounds like you have the deal.
Well, you have the diamonds.
I haven't gone yet, so let's not.
That's true. He's got the deal. Right? Yeah,
but this is
I just always love it when people come here. They love this place. They're infatuated. They come on my website, they start searching for homes. We call them, we're good realtors. We want to serve them. What are you looking for, miss? Well, we just love it there. We'd like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, maybe a 2-car garage, and love to see the ocean. Okay. What kind of budget did you have in mind? Well, we're thinking 250 or 300,000. Let me give you Justice's number. She'll give you a call right away.
Justice is on the Big Island for anybody
Yes.
who doesn't know.
Yes.
And I think that's a perfect lead into Dylan's other
look at the Big Island value, right? So this is in Kona Vista's real beautiful neighborhood on the Kona side of the Big Island. It's probably about 600 feet. So what you can see here from the picture is like this bedroom. I use the bedroom view looking out because you can see like the ocean right from the bedroom, right from that sliding glass door. But if you look at the layout of the property, I mean, it's like a little resort, right? You got your pool, you got a great yard, fruit trees. I mean, just a killer property. And 1.7 million on the Big Island, guys. I mean, this is 7 minutes away from the beach. Really, really nice sandy beach, Magic Sands. So, very typical kind of value that you get on the Big Island that's different from the other islands. And really, you're not any place crazy. I mean, you're 20 minutes away from the airport and 18 minutes away from Costco, so you're close to everything. Just south of downtown Kailua Kona. So this is a killer one. I saw this and I was like, man, 2,100 square feet. Just simple living and beautiful ocean views and the pool and everything else is really cool. I like that tiered kind of pool sitting down there. So let me know if you guys got any questions or you want to take a look at it. But beautiful new listing. Just came on the market yesterday, so I don't think this was going to last very long. All right, we're like go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so we were joking about what's the mortgage on a $3 million home, but I just Zillowed for fun real quick what my listing at 6775 was, and Zillow estimates a monthly payment of $35,950 per month.
Not bad.
That's easy.
Not bad.
Not bad.
All right, we got 5 minutes here, so let's get into our closing thoughts, guys. Oh, actually, one quick station break. So, how'd you get here? Are you on our newsletter? If you go to livinginhawaii.com, there's a pop-up. You can sign up for the newsletter. We send out information every week. We send you the replay of this show. We also have additional recorded shows that happen throughout the week. So this is your central place for all things living in Hawaii. If you have any questions about moving here, getting a job, assimilating to the culture, everything that you need is here. So go check it out. We're actually working on, I'm excited to kind of, I'll announce it now. We're working on a total rebuild of the website and a rebrand, and that should be ready here in the next 30 days or so. So we'll talk about that when it's ready and we'll launch it. But livinginhawaii.com, your number one resource for all things living in Hawaii. All right, let's go to our closing thoughts here as we wrap up. Let's get to Ashley's side. What you got for us, Ashley?
The greatest happiness in life is the conviction that we are loved for ourselves, or rather loved in spite of ourselves. And this is because Valentine's Day is going to come up before our next show. So I like to theme our quotes to nearby holidays.
We should probably, the man on here should probably be reminded that there's Valentine's Day coming up, guys. So thanks, Ashley, for doing that.
You're welcome.
And which Victor Hugo is this? I know a Victor Hugo who's like a jiu-jitsu world champion, but I'm sure this wasn't his quote. So.
That does not sound like a jiu-jitsu quote from him. Different Victor, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. All right. Ronnie, what you got?
This is from John Maxwell. Learn to say no to the good so you can say yes to the best. And I like Gemini for creating the best images because it takes it about 15 seconds to put a tropical environment with some red birds, cardinals, perhaps. I thought of something funny, though, I wanted to share in the spirit of Valentine's Day. Was driving yesterday and listening to an in-studio promo for the Kauai Humane Society that's having a big event on Valentine's Day. And you can send like an animated animal postcard to someone you love if you want to send a love card. And if you want to send a poopy Valentine, you can put the name of your ex in the cat litter box and the cats take care of the rest. I thought that was hysterical. Love
Some
the
good
kawaii.
marketing right there. Love it, love it. All right, so there you go, guys. Kawaii Humane Society, and we're getting asked in the comments, where's Peter? If you must have missed the recent shows at the end of the year last year, yes, Peter has officially retired. He may come back at some point for some guest appearances, but for the you got us from here going on out. So hopefully you continue to watch. But yes, after many years, Peter was ready for a break, and he is enjoying. Actually, I just was texting with him yesterday, telling him that we missed him, and he's very honored to be missed. So send him your aloha if you miss him. But yes, Peter is retired. All right, moving on. What do we got, Mike?
So I have one from Alex Hermosi. A friend of mine sent me this a few days ago, and it's if they don't have what you want, don't listen to what they say. There's no greater waste of time than justifying your actions to people who don't have the life you want. I think in a world of social media and everybody's got an opinion that, they want to express that opinion, or they want to criticize you because they aren't doing what you're doing. So again, like, why listen to what other people that have to say, or their opinions, when they're not living the life you want or the life you desire or what you're working towards?
And if you want to hear Alex Hermosi get humbled, listen to the podcast with him and Tony Robbins from, I don't know, several episodes ago.
I saw a short clip of that, and it was basically Tony was saying, Alex, you're a workhorse. You pride yourself in working 24 hours a day, and you built some pretty incredible business. But then he was like, but where's your satisfaction in doing that? Like, it's not like, I think he was getting into, it's like, that's great, you built this business and you work all day every day, but if you're not doing it meaningful, or you don't have a purpose behind it, it's not fulfilling you in life. So yes, thanks for the reminder. I do want to go watch that episode, because that little short 20-second clip I saw, I was like, oh man, he called Alex out.
Yep, that was a good one. Highly recommend. All right, I'll take us home, guys. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the first step. And like everything in life, all the big goals, all the big dreams start with one step. And don't worry about, sometimes we wait too long to have an entire plan laid out and have everything, all the information that we could possibly need before we make a decision and move forward. But don't worry about that. Just take the first step. Don't worry about seeing the rest of the staircase. And that's not my quote, actually. It's my quote for today, but I think Martin Luther King actually said it. So, all right, that's it. Right on time, 11 Hawaii time. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks to everybody that asked questions and contributed. We again will be back in 2 weeks with the live show. Visit livinginhawaii.com in the meantime to catch our previous shows. And Lawrence, Peter is outstanding. He's great. And so I will send him your love when I talk to him next. Let's go from top to bottom. Say aloha, everybody, and we'll get wrapped up. Mike, you first.
Happy Aloha Friday, guys. Have a great weekend.
Aloha Friday. Happy Valentine's Day. Don't forget, hubbies.
Happy Valentine's Day to all the people out there that are going to celebrate with big hearts. And if you're on Kauai, stay dry.
Yes, absolutely. And I will say aloha. Have a great weekend, everybody, and go Patriots.
Woo!
2 weeks.